Hello everybody and welcome to race 2 of SOP Motorsports. We pick up the action on lap 1. Apologies for missing the very first So we are on lap 1 completed, and we ride on board with Twitch_Wake leading the way in the Porsche. Nicholas GT is closely following in the Bentley. TSR Wednesday, THKKR, AMPO's had a spin. Oh my word, he's off the track. He is off the track. He's had a spin. He's stationary. I'm not sure what happened there. I just missed that coming together. TSR Jimmy's in P6, ERS Quamedix has moved up to P5. Everyone's shuffling around the order because Ampio had dropped right down the order from his spin after lap 1. But as we go back up to the leader, TSR Wake, he's leading the way from Nicholas GT, who slots into second, closely followed by THKKR. I don't know what's happened to TSR Wednesday. TSR Wednesday's got ahead of Nicholas GT. I missed that one, apologies. The timing screens are a bit behind. But THKKR P4, Nicholas GT P3, TSR Wednesday P2 with Twitch Wake leading the way. Porsche's first, second and fourth in the race at the moment, with the Bentley sandwiched in between them all. We have ERS Quamedix in the Audi in P5, putting a bit of a gap from TDI 19 in P6. Mr. Death Zone there in P7 and RPM Austin in P8, with CRN Shadow in the McLaren. Two McLarens in this race 2, event 2 for SOP Motorsports, number 26 car, CRN Shadow. The McLaren isn't a popular choice to choose for some reason, but we've got two of them running in the top 10 nonetheless. TSR Jimmy making up the top 10, P1 Gamer Dad there in P11 in the number 13 Bentley machine. Stop and go for TSR GT Welsh. Not sure what's happened there, but he's got a stop and go. He must have been speeding in the pit lane because he's got a green mark to say he's completed his pit stop already. But Dark Blue Dan is at the back of the grid. Ampio also after his spin. He's on the back of Texas MC, running in 16th place now with Jinx 98765. That's a bit of a mouthful. Oh, we've got a spinner. GT Paddy's round. GT Paddy is round. What's happened there? He's lost his Bentley on the exit of turn 2, and we've lost a rider. Stop and go penalty's gone. TSR GT Welsh has left the session, so we're down to 18 riders. Dark Blue Dan bringing up the rear as we go back to the front of the grid. Twitch_Wake leading the way. TSR Wednesday there in second. Porsche first and second. Nicholas GT's dropped down to third in the Bentley, qualified P2. THKKR there in a comfortable fourth. He's got a bit of a gap now between himself and ERS Quamedix, the Audi runner in P5 there. TDI is the lead McLaren, TDI 19 in P6, Mr. Death Zone P1. He's your lone Ferrari in race 2 of event 2. But there's a great battle. CRN Shadow, TSR Jimmy in the slipstream. Is he going to up the inside? Shadow shuts the door. Around the outside he's got to go, is Jimmy. Is he going to make the move stick? Is he going to brake later? He gets the job done. The McLaren seems to have let him by quite easy then, actually, must be said. And now CRN Shadow has got RPM Austin all over the back of him in the Audi there. GTR 390 in the luminous green Nissan GTR. He's in P12. He's 7 seconds away from P1 Game Dad, who's in P11 in the number 13 Bentley. He's just watching this battle up ahead now for that P10 position, RPM Wilson. He's getting ever closer to CRN Shadow. TSR Jimmy's just pulled away from the McLaren machine there, 0.8 seconds, with Mr. Death Zone and TDI running close in 6th and 7th. That's a lovely shot there as they all go into the chicane. TDI 19 leading the way in that P6 position from Mr. Death Zone in the Ferrari, the lone Ferrari in race 2. ERS Chromatics in the Audi. P5 of him in the gold Audi machine. THKKR though. He's in 4th. He's looking to catch Nicholas GT as he gets a bit wide on the exit of turn 16. That's going to compromise his speed down the pit straight as Nicholas GT in the Bentley is falling behind TSR Wednesday and TSR Wake, leading the way those two. Bentley on Bentley action. 4 laps completed. Track temperature all the way up to 42 degrees already, and 37 minutes left in this 45-minute race. 1 second separates them. They are running very similar liveries, aren't they, the TSR boys? This yellow and metallic grey livery, very smart livery from the TSR boys there. TSR Jimmy also running the same in the Porsche. So we've got 3 TSR runners and riders in the top 10. But Wake is pulling out a gap. 1.2 seconds is the leader from the 88 machine. Nicholas GT is falling back in the Bentley. And he's going to have THKKR all over the back of him very soon if he's not careful. The top 4 now pulling away. ERS Chromatics. He's in a race of his own really. He's 2.5 seconds from P4 and he's 2.1 seconds ahead of P6, so keep it on the road. He might make a few positions at the end of the race depending on how pit stops go, because the Audi does come on strong around Circuit de Catalunya. It's a very strong car at this track. As TDI 19 and Mr. Death Zone seem to be getting into a battle of their own. 0.6 is the gap as they come around the final turns. 14, 15, 16. Mr. Death Zone riding the sausage curb, gets it all wrong. He's messed it up. That gap's going to be pulled out now. TDI, he's pulled out of the slipstream, and now TSR Jimmy is coming up to the back, all over the back of Mr. Death Zone here in the 869 Ferrari. Is he going to catch him this lap? 1.5 seconds to P6 with only TSR Jimmy a second further back. CRN Shadow then and RPM Awesome complete the top 10. So as we look further down the grid, P1 Gamer Dad, he had a strong showing at Laguna Seca, I believe. GTR in P12. Uncle Vinny in the other Audi. 3 Audis in this race today. Got a bit of battle damage it looks like on the inside door there. Must have had a bit of a tangle together. I must have missed that one. Ampio on his recovery drive. He was running up the front after his earlier spin. Looks like he's had a bit of a tangle also, because paintwork's all over the place on the back of that Porsche. He must have some damage. Look at that paintwork. That's battered and bruised, that Porsche. He's going to be riding on board with some damage. That's surely going to slow him down in the race. The first Mercedes I've seen in an SOP Motorsport event this weekend from Dark Blue Dan. Not a popular choice of car is the Mercedes, but he's running down in 15th place. It is a bit of a handful, that Mercedes. You can either drive it really well or it just will not get on with you. Texas MC then in the last of the Porsches in P16, just pulled over there, just crashed. What's gone on there? He's lost it on the exit. He's on the grass. Oh, he's in the gravel now. His race looks to be run. He's rejoined in P16. He's lost a lot of time at the back there then after that mistake. Jinx running the Honda at the back of the grid here and GT Paddy bringing up the rear, 2 laps down already. But as we go back to the lead, Porsches, TSR Wake and TSR Wednesday, 1 second separates them, running in formation, the 2 front runners, as Nicholas GT's got THKKR all over the back of him there. THKKR breathing down his neck. He seems to have just lost a bit in the dirty air. Is he going to get him on the slipstream? 0.2 seconds separate these guys now. THKKR, Nicholas GT. Late to the breakers, he hasn't got him this time up the chicane. THKKR. Nicholas GT survives for another lap. Let's stick with this battle. 4P3. Nicholas GT. THKKR. Bentley vs Porsche. 17 versus 117. Who's the smoother driver? Who's going to get a better exit out of turn 16? He's got the slipstream again. Down the back straight as THKKR. Is he going to make the move this time round? He's going to be breathing down his neck into turn 1. That Bentley's got some good top speed on it, mind. THKKR doesn't seem close enough this time round. He sends it out wide. He takes up the inside. He can't make a stick this time. He's going to follow him through this sequence of corners. Turn 2, turn 3. As we look a bit further down the field, we will come back to that battle. ERS, Chromedix, as I said, in a battle of his own, 4 seconds behind those 2. Mr. Death Zone in P6 has got TDI and TSR Jimmy right behind them, having a good old ding dong. 0.1 up the inside into turn 4. TSR Jimmy makes the move stick then. TDI 19's lost the position. We got TSR Jimmy in the Porsche, sandwiched between 2 McLarens. And the Ferrari of Mr. Death Zone just ahead then. TSR Jimmy making moves as the race unfolds. 31 minutes remaining. These Porsches are really putting it together in race 2. He's got the slipstream down the back straight as TSR Jimmy. Is he going to grab another position into the chicane? Can he be the later breaker? Has he got him? Not this time round. Patience is a virtue, TSR Jimmy. He will wait for the pit lane straight, but he loses it. He's lost it. He's onto the grass. He's onto the gravel. He cuts across the chicane. Oh no, that's hard luck for TSR Jimmy. He's going to lose. He hasn't lost too much time to Mr. Death Zone there. TDI may frown upon that as TSR Jimmy has rejoined the track in his P7 position. He hasn't really lost any time. TDI may feel he should have that position, but we'll concentrate on this battle once again then. Mr. Death Zone, TSR Jimmy, TDI 19. These 3 bunched together. Brilliant battle for P6 between these 3. As THKKR is only 0.3 seconds behind Nicholas GT. Very composed, these lot at the front. TSR Wake has pulled out a 1.8 gap now to the 88 machine in second. TSR Wednesday 5 seconds back now. Nicholas GT is doing his best to hold off THKKR for that final podium position. ERS Chromedix seems to be closing on these 2 now because those 2 are battling ahead. So Nicholas GT and THKKR are getting in a bit of a ding dong with each other, and ERS Chromedix has closed that 5-second gap down to 3.2. And Mr. Death Zone then, he's coming under attack from TSR Jimmy. Round number 2, these 2 go again. The fast right-hander down the back straight. TSR Jimmy, is he in the slipstream this time? TDI is just fallen back slightly from those 2. But we'll go back on board with TSR Jimmy this time. Don't make a mistake this time, TSR Jimmy. Keep it together. And you've got an opportunity down the back straight to make the move stick. Mr. Death Zone though, smooth as you like, coming around the final sequence of turns. TSR Jimmy's lost it again. He's lost it again. He can't control the Porsche today. TDI has surely made that place now. He's got that place. TDI, he moves up into P7. TSR Jimmy was showing promising pace, but he's just lost it again. The Porsche is a handful to drive, So TSR Jimmy just needs to get that under control. As CRN Shadow, they're in 9th and RPM Awesome rounds up the top 10 runners and riders. P1 Gamer Dad seems to have closed the gap though. And GTR in P12 with Uncle Vinny and AMPO in a good battle at the rear of the field. As we look right to the rear of the field then, Texas MC is in P18. You can see he's already been lapped by the front two runners, and he's got Nicholas GT and THKKR going to be catching him on this lap. Let's hope he doesn't hold these two up in the battle for third place. Then we'll stay on board with Texas MC. He's the back marker. He's going to be receiving blue flags. How much is he going to hold up Nicholas GT in this battle with THKKR, as THKKR is breathing down his neck then into the chicane. Nicholas GT though, he's keeping it clean. He's making it as wide as possible. He's not letting THKKR through just yet. As Texas MC, they're just not quite close enough yet to Texas MC, so he's still running his race. Although Texas MC has completed his pit stop that I've just noticed, then he's gone green, so he doesn't have a pit stop to make anymore, although he is 2 laps behind. And again, look at the slipstream. THKKR on Nicholas GT. Nicholas GT defends the inside. THKKR around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Nicholas GT is on the outside line now, coming into turn 3. Oh, they touch. THKKR's round. THKKR, he's a spinner. They touch, coming around turn 3. Oh my word, THKKR, he's lost it. He's given a place to ERS Chromatics. All his hard work, all his patience just been undone in one single corner then. He's gifted Nicholas GT that third place position, and ERS Chromatics has benefited from this too. So as we ride on board with ERS Chromatics then, once again he is sort of in a race of his own. He's just keeping his nose clean. He has not to battle anybody. He's sitting comfortably there, letting everybody else make mistakes. As Nicholas GT is now not under any pressure. Can he put some clean laps together without any pressure and keep that distance from ERS Chromatics, sorry, and THKKR? He needs to recompose himself if he wants to find that podium position. All still to play for though. We've still got the pit stop window to go. 25 minutes left. Mr. Death Zone, they're in P6, seem to have pulled away from TSR Jimmy. TSR Jimmy, after his earlier lawn mowing incident, has not been able to claw any time back there, but he has got back past TDI 19, who is coming into the pits. He's making his mandatory pit stop now with 25 minutes remaining as the car bounces into the pit stop. Get the brakes on to the pit limiter, and he's into the pits, as is TSR Wednesday from P2. So TSR Wake is out in front by himself then. He needs to string some qualifying laps together if he wants to remain in front of TSR Wednesday. Once they've all completed their pit stop windows, THKKR for now back up to P4, and he is closing fast on ERS Chromatics in the Audi. ERS Chromatics, can he defend from THKKR? THKKR is very fast in that Porsche. If he didn't make that mistake trying to overtake Nicholas GT, I did have a feeling he would have got him eventually. But it's come to nothing. All that hard work, as Nicholas GT is there in P2. Coming up against some back markers. Jinx 987 needs to move out the way. Texas MC's moved out the way. He's a good sportsmanship there, as does Jinx. There we go. Jinx has let Nicholas GT through. He's had the blue flags and he marches on as a brilliant battle is unfolding now. ERS and THKKR. THKKR needs to keep his nose clean. The back markers get out the way. Down the back straight they will go for that P3 position. He's going to have the slipstream. Can he make the move work? The Audi does have some grunt, and the Audi pits. No, he doesn't. Sorry, that's Nicholas GT. No, it's not. Who am I mixing myself up with now? Never mind, we'll go back on board with THKKR then. Someone's gone into the pits and it's confused me. There we go. THKKR in P4 hasn't got the slipstream on ERS to make the move just yet. Mr. Deathzone then in P5, so Jinx is in the pits. TSR Wednesdays, GT Paddy and Texas, they're the ones who have already completed their mandatory pit stop. As we go back on board with the front runner, 12 laps complete, 23 minutes remaining. He's sort of in a race of his own now, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, isn't he? Out in front there, just lapping some back markers. They get out of the way nicely for him. Nicholas GT 10 seconds behind. ERS and THKKR, they're going to be losing ground now to Nicholas GT because they're battling between themselves. ERS is going to be defending, so he isn't going to be at optimal race pace. As they come around the fast sweeping right hander, THKKR is going to have the slipstream. Can ERS defend the position? Can he brake late enough? He does indeed. He holds the inside line. THKKR looking for a way past, can't make it work just yet. We're halfway into the race. As THKKR and ERS do battle for the final podium position. I don't want to say commentator's curse, but TSR Wake looks to have this one in the bag. Nicholas GT is holding P2. As the pit stops unfold, TSR Wednesday will move himself back up the field. He was running in P2. Is he going to emerge in P2 once again once Nicholas GT has completed his stop? As THKKR finally comes into the pits, then he says, no more, I don't want to waste any more time behind ERS. He's coming in to make his mandatory stop. Hopefully he can get past him and undercut him in the pit stop window. But it does release ERS Chromatics now. He can put the power down. He can put in some qualifying laps. He's not under any pressure anymore. So he's not going to be on that defensive line. As Nicholas GT can't close that gap from 10 seconds, can he? As TSR Twitch. Oh, we have it coming together then. Who's had it coming together? GTR has just gone off track. He's off. He's lawnmowering out there on the outfield as he rejoins the track then. Nicholas GT just makes his way past. Dark Blue Dan running in 15th place there in the 89 blue Mercedes. He's had a pretty uneventful race as Dark Blue Dan at the rear of the field. Again, this second half of the field are pretty spread out. Jimmy's there in P11, Orson's in the pits, TDI's on his own down the back straight, on the pit straight, sorry. GTR, Dark Blue Dan, GT Paddy, Jinx and Texas MC make up the rear of the field. As you go back to Twitch then, Twitch _ Wake, TSR Wake, he's got some back markers to get through. These guys just ahead of him have completed a pit stop. So they are a lap down. GT Paddy, RP Orson, they're getting the blue flags. TSR Wake doesn't want to lose any time. But RPM Orson lets him through. There we go, he lets him through. I was going to say he might just fight him for position because he's completed his pit stop. But he's just let TSR Wake right through. He hasn't slowed him down a bit. Nicholas GT 9.5 seconds back, so he has lost half a second in that little battle, nothing too serious. ERS there in P3, 4.3 further back from Nicholas GT as Mr. Death Zone comes into the pits. Sorry there guys, muddling up my words. Mr. Death Zone is in the pits. CRN Shadow takes up P4 then. P1 Gamer Dad P5. He was running right down the field, was P1 Gamer Dad. He's made his way up to P5. And PO in P6 in the battered and bruised Porsche. His pit stop's going to be rather long if he wants to make those repairs. It's not just going to be a splash and dash fuel stop for him. Uncle Vinny running P8 in the Audi. He was at the rear of the field at one point. He's made his way up slowly. All the guys behind him have made their pit stop though, so he will drop back down the field as we ride back on board with TSR Wake. Comes through to complete another lap. 15 laps done then. 18 minutes to go. Nicholas GT is closing that gap slightly now. 9.1. 9.1 seconds back from the leader. ERS in P3. Comfortable P3 right now at the minute, ERS. To be fair, he has had a flawless race, ERS. He hasn't made any mistakes. He's just kept it clean. Done what he needed to do. CRN Shadow there in the McLaren up to P4 then, whilst everyone else makes their pit stops. Can he make any more movements up the field towards the latter stages of this race? As TSR Wednesday, he's completed the pit stop, he's in P7, all those in front of him need to make the stop. This will decide where he finishes. He's going to be on the podium. Is he going to slot back into that P2 position? Only time will tell. As P1 Gamer Dad comes into the pit stops. And as we look a bit further down then, TSR Jimmy in P9, some 12 seconds behind P8. He hasn't had the cleanest races as TSR Jimmy. He was running right up the top of the field. P5 or 6 at one point, battling away. Just hasn't got the control of that Porsche. Mr. Death Zone and THKKR then having a good old battle. 0.08 seconds separate these two. These are battling for track position. THKKR, Mr. Death Zone, P10 and P11. Can Mr. Death Zone holding behind THKKR? Is very rapid in that push. He gets it sideways. Oh, and he's off. THKKR. He's lost it once again. He done the same thing at Laguna Seca last week, ladies and gentlemen. He had a very strong showing at the beginning of the race, running P2, and through no fault of anybody else's, he just lost the car. Porsches seem to be a handful for people today around Barcelona. He just got the car in the slide, it slightest of twitches and he's gone into the gravel. So that has given a bit of breathing space to Mr. Death Zone there in P9. It was all looking so promising for THKKR, running up as high as P4 in the first half of this race. Has dropped down into P10 now in the 117 machine. As TSR Wake comes down the back straight in the lead. 9.2 seconds separate him from Nicholas GT. He's in a race of his own at the front. Hasn't put a wheel wrong. Kept that push facing the right way. Doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. Getting through those back markers as we've got a bit of a battle going on behind. Where are we looking? CRN Shadow. Here's just a couple of back markers, ladies and gentlemen. AMPO. Dark Blue Dan just letting him through. That's good sportsmanship there from Dark Blue Dan. As there are now only 6 drivers left to make a pit stop, with 15 minutes to go. Who's going to be the first one to blink? TSR Wednesday back up into P6 now. He's some half a lap behind TSR Wake. So TSR Wake is fueled to go the distance. He's going to be a splash and dash. So his race pace, relevant to everybody else, seems to be far superior considering he can go much longer in TSR Wednesday. As Nicholas GT is holding that P3 position. This race is a lot more spread out compared to race 1. Everyone just seems to be in their own groove. ERS Chromedix in that P3 position. CRN Shadow up to P4. Jinx and Ampio. Jinx is a back marker. He should be letting him through. He should be having the blue flags. And he does let him through into turn 1. Ampio then up to P5 still to make a pit stop. TSR Wednesday coming through turn 1 also. He's completing another lap. And Uncle Vinny in the Audi P7. He's running P7. with TSR Jimmy 8, Mr. Death Zone 9, and THKKR slowly bringing that gap back into Mr. Death Zone. He's going to have another attempt now for that P9 position. It looks to be those two are the closest contenders that are going to do battle on track as Mr. Death Zone covers the inside. He knows he's there. THKKR is closing rapidly. 0.7 is the gap separating them. Mr. Death Zone off the track. He's off the track. He's lost it. He's buckled under pressure. THKKR's through up the inside of turn 3. He's made the move finally. Mr. Death Zone just lost it coming through turn 2 there. He had to ride the curbs. He had to get back on track, not lose too much time, see if he can challenge THKKR the final top 10 position. I was going to say final point scoring position, but there aren't any points on offer for this race. As TSR Wake leads the way, gap down to 9 seconds. ERS Chromedics 6 further seconds behind now. I'll ride on board with ERS Chromedics for a while. As he comes through end of the bridge into turn 4. The Audi definitely looking planted today. Seems to be coping well with the Spanish temperatures. Are the Bentleys and the Audis. Every other Porsche driver apart from TSR Wake seems to have some sort of problem. Ampio lost the back end. He was a spinner early on. TSR Wednesday, he's visited the grass a couple of times. TSR Jimmy's the one that's visited the grass a couple of times. Sorry, TSR Wednesday hasn't put a foot wrong. He's just out of position because of the pit stop window. With THKKR now pulled a 1.3 second gap to Mr. Death Zone in P10. TDI's dropped right down the field then. He was running up high at the beginning of the race, but he is now in P11 with P1 Gamer Dad not too far behind. RPM Awesome and Nicholas GT just coming around 2 lap RPM Awesome. So that must mean TSR Wake is indeed past that lot of traffic as he completes 19 laps then with 11 minutes to go. We're right on board for a full lap then with TSR Wake as he just comes through the opening section of Circuit de Catalunya. Let's see how planted that Porsche is for him. He doesn't seem to be struggling with any tyres right now, as those brakes are glowing going through turn 4. That's a lovely shot that is, but he keeps it nice and smooth as TSR Wake. Nice and smooth on the exit, using the whole track as TSR Wake. Doesn't want to scrub off any time, keeping it nice and tidy, using the curbs where he needs to, avoiding the curves that he doesn't need to. Go on, round the fast right hander he goes, down the back straight. And ERS Chromedics makes the pits then, so that's how close TSR Wake is to ERS Chromedics. TSR Wake could come round to lap ERS Chromedics by the time he leaves the pits. He's come through the final sequences of corners now. "10 minutes to go then, only 10 minutes to go. TSR Wake must be coming to a pit stop soon." As I say that, there he is, he's into the pits also. He's making his one and only stop, his mandatory pit stop. Does he get the Porsche slowed down in time? He's into the pits. Splash and dash with 10 minutes remaining. I'm not sure if he got that car slowed down enough. We'll monitor that now to see if he has a stop and go penalty. He seemed to be hesitant then on the entry to the pit lane, but Nicholas GT comes past then. He's going to inherit the lead as he's coming up against some back markers. CRN Shadow moved his way up to P3 then. He was running down in about P9 or 10 early on in the race, but he's just kept it in there, kept it clean. Got some front end damages, CRN Shadow. I haven't seen him in any wars today, but he's got some front end damage. Running in P3 is the McLaren as TSR Wake's still in the pits then. He's taking on some fuel. He might be changing tyres because that seems to be a hell of a long pit stop. Oh, he seems to be having problems in the pit stop. He can't get in his pit box. He can't activate his pit stop. The car's not up on jacks. He still hasn't made a pit stop. He's thrown away the lead. TSR Wake, the number 55 machine, has all gone wrong for him today then. He is not moving in that pit lane. What has gone wrong for him? Just like in race 1, that Qatar dude messed up his pit stop from a podium position. TSR Wake can't get that Porsche positioned in the right pit box. Oh, and that race is falling away from him massively because TSR Wednesday is through. He's made his pit stop. He's inherited the lead. He's got a hell of an advantage now over TSR Wake because he's still not moving. Something's gone wrong there for him. Oh, he's dropping down the field. Apologies for that silence then, guys. Just sorting out another race. We're down to 16 riders. TSR Wake has thrown this win away then. He hasn't been able to get that pit stop sorted out. I'm not sure what's going on there. So Nicholas GT is the race leader. 21 laps complete. 21 laps complete for Nicholas GT. CRN Shadow is up into P2. AM_PO is up to P3 then. We have a massive change of podium positions at the minute. TSR Wednesday, THKKR. All of a sudden THKKR looks to be a podium finisher because the top 3 still need to make a pit stop. But Nicholas GT is coming around to lap RPM Awesome and get through some of the back markers. The blue flags are waving. Nicholas GT needs to get past. He's going to want to complete his pit stop. 6 minutes remaining. ERS Chromatics now. Stop and go penalty. Speeding in the pit lane was ERS Chromatics. It's all gone wrong for these podium people. What's gone on there? He's completely stopped. He's back in the pits. Oh no, he's back in the pits. What's gone on there? He's retiring. He's just received a 140-second penalty for taking his car back into the pits off the race. That is not allowed, ladies and gentlemen. So he's thrown that podium position away as ERS Chromatics. TSR Wake also problems in the pits. Not sure what's going on there. P12 and 13 they sit at the minute. They are out of the running. Nicholas GT, an unlikely winner. After he was 10 seconds behind TSR Wake early on in the race, is going to take up the P1 position. With CRN Shadow coming around for another lap then. 5 minutes to go. The top 3 still need to make a pit stop. Not sure what's gone wrong there for TSR Wake. That is unfortunate for TSR Wake because he was dominating this race in the push. He was 10 seconds ahead of the field. But Nicholas GT is coming round. To complete another lap. 5 minutes to go. CRN Shadow in second, ANPO in third, TSR Wednesday 10 seconds back. So it's really going to decide who gets that podium position because TSR Wednesday has completed his mandatory pit stop. He was running in P2 early on. He's only 10 seconds behind P3, so he is going to gain that place. It all depends on Nicholas GT and CRN Shadow. How far in front of these two from TSR Wednesday in the Porsche. At the minute, you've got Porsches in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Are these 3 going to be a podium finishers at the end of the race? Only 4 minutes to go. Nicholas GT comes into the pits then. He's making his mandatory pit stop now. 4 minutes to go. Here's CRN Shadow. CRN Shadow and AMPO are pretty far behind Nicholas GT. It must be said, quarter of a lap behind. As we ride on board with Nicholas GT, he's coming into his pits. Hopefully we don't see another pit stop blunder. Nicholas GT needs to get that car stopped. Needs to get it up in the air on those jacks. And there's a splash and dash. Nicholas GT. You saw how quickly that pit stop window's gone by. He needs to make sure he doesn't speed in the pit lane now. And he is going to come through in the race lead. Brilliant pit stop from Nicholas GT then. He is miles ahead of everyone else. Sierra and Shadow also in, and Pio also in at the same time. That's going to be a battle for the final podium position, I believe, as TSR Wednesday will inherit P2. Nicholas GT in the Bentley leads the way. TSR Wednesday in that net P2 with THKKR in P3 at the minute. Is he going to come through? Is he going to get in front of AMPO in the Porsche in the number 47? Sierra and Shadow, AMPO side by side. This is brilliant stuff coming out the pit stop. Who's got the lead? Sierra and Shadow just snatches. Sierra and Shadow, stop and go penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Oh, that is unfortunate. Sierra and Shadow gives the place to Ampio. He knows he's no point fighting that. He's got a stop and go penalty. That is so unlucky there for Sierra and Shadow. He was on for a podium position. THKKR though back up into P3. TSR Wednesday P2. Nicholas GT way out in front here. Here's Nicholas GT. He's already in the final sector, the final few corners. 10 seconds is the lead to TSR Wednesday. He looks to have this race in the bag with only 2 minutes to go. That's your top three. Nicholas GT, TSR Wednesday, THKKR. 6 seconds further behind then is AMPO. And CRN Shadow. He's got to serve a 30-second stop and go penalty from P5. Is he still going to be in the top 10 once that's served? Mr. Death Zone is in P6, TDI 19 P7, P1 Gamer Dad P8, RPM P9 and Uncle Vinny complete the top 10. You've got the two Audis in P9 and P10 then, with Dark Blue Dan after the pit stops making his way up to P11. It's been a nice clean run from Dark Blue Dan. He hasn't had much screen time. Texas MC P12 also. These guys at the back. GT Paddy, he's coming in for his one and only pit stop then from P13. Jinx is 2 laps down. ERS Chromodix has come back out then. He must know he's made a blunder returning to the pits without making it round. And 4 laps behind, TSR Wake thrown the win away. He has been able to complete his pit stop for whatever reason. That is unfortunate for TSR Wake. But there's only 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. Nicholas GT is coming round. He's completed 24 laps of Circuit de Catalunya. 8 seconds behind is TSR Wednesday, and a massive 25 seconds behind that is your P3 rider THKKR in the 117 Porsche. So as everything unfolded, the Bentley is going to be the winner. We've got Porsches in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, so it was a strong showing from the Porsche manufacturers. Round turn 16, 1 more lap to go it seems as he crosses the line.
The leader has finished the race.
My mistake, the timer has run out, the leader was finished. Nicholas GT takes the win then, 25 laps complete. He didn't put a foot wrong. He completed his mandatory pit stop as it should be, and he takes the win, 8 seconds ahead of TSR Wednesday. And THKKR is coming around the final chicanes now to take that final podium position. ERS Chromodix just ahead is obviously a couple of laps behind, but he's just lost it on the pit straight for some reason. He crosses the line. He isn't going to get to do another lap because he is a lap down. Ampio completes the top 4, completes the trio of Porsches. CRN Shadow didn't complete his stop and go penalty, so he's going to be dropping down the grid there. He's got a 115 second time penalty for missing the stop and go penalty in the pit stops. TDI comes through. He's probably going to inherit P6. He does. P1 Gamer Dad as well. CRN Shadow dropping right down the order. RPM Awesome picks up P8. Uncle Vinny is a lap down, but he is in that P10 position. The runners and riders just come around to finish their final laps then. Uncle Vinny takes P9. And CRN Shadow has finished in P10. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, from race 2. It's a bit more spread out than I would have liked. There was some good battles early on, but some pit stop errors denied us of a brilliant win from TSR Wake. But your top 3 from race 2, Nicholas GT, TSR Wednesday and THKKR. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Join me for race 3 in about 30 minutes time.